It's not just any day. It's Mr. Throwback Thursday.
All you kids want to get on and shit.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
I'll be damned.
At the count of three, I want y'all to tell me the name of my DJ. 1, 2, 3.
The poppers pop and the breakers break. All the fellas say oh and the girls say hey. Give it up for the DJ, Mr. Throwback Thursday.
And now, here's your hosts, Bill Winters and Mr. Throwback Thursday himself, Jamie Robinson.
Welcome back to episode 210 of the Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast. And it is once again time for our special presentation. The Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast is proud and humbled to bring you Make Some Noise for the Green Eyed Bandit himself, E-Double. Erick Sermon joining us.
I'm making my own crowd. You hear that? Is it loud enough?
That's beautiful. That means I don't have to put it in post.
He's got sound effects for everything, so if you didn't do it, we're going to put it in for you too.
No, it's
Welcome
better.
to the show, Erick. Thank you for joining us.
I appreciate this. I appreciate anybody who recognizes that we still living, that they think that we got older and we stopped liking rap and stopped liking R&B or stopped liking rock. But no, we still doing this and we still love it.
Yeah. You're still doing it, and you're still doing it at a high quality level too. I'll say that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I was telling Bill earlier that the first time I saw EPMD was December of 1989. It was at the Chance in Poughkeepsie, New York, and then
wow,
yeah. And then I didn't see EPMD again until 2010 in Portsmouth, Virginia. But
no way. Oh,
yeah.
Yo, you was at that show in Virginia?
Yeah, I live in Portsmouth.
Wow, then that means that right there is something, because that's one show that I remember, and I'm like, yo, how did we get here, and who booked us here?
Yeah, the Chance wasn't a great place, and Portsmouth,
Actually, the Chance is a good place.
It was still a great show, but
yeah,
it was like I just never went there in my life except that 1 year. That was it.
Mm-hmm. But then he came back for what was Fresh Fest that 1 year, because we saw him
down
at
in
Fresh Fest.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, but that was before me.
No, the one that they had out in Portsmouth, Virginia, that's what they were labeling it as, not the original Fresh Fest.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they were.
So they didn't get sued because I heard Leo Cohen owned that name.
Yeah, and I was surprised. I'm guessing this because it was such a small town. Portsmouth isn't a big area.
Because that name is owned by Leo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not somebody you want to mess with on his stuff.
Oh no! You know what? It was. See, look how minute that place was. Like nobody even cared that it didn't even get to Leo.
Yeah, but it was a hell of a show, though.
Because Leo would have came and got his money.
I'm sure he would have.
Let me stop. No, but this is what it is. What it is.
Yeah,
if I was him, I'd do the same thing. So
Yeah, we got a little more reach than that show did, so you be careful.
Not much.
I said a little more.
Yeah. I was at Leo's Grammy party. We had a great time.
Well, good. Because you wouldn't tell him about taking money.
I know.
But we always start off the show when we have an interview very, very simple about asking how people got their name. And, obviously your name is Erick Sermon. But, we'll go back a little bit earlier and we'll say, how did Erick Sermon become Easy Eric and then come all the way back to being Erick Sermon again?
Well, I was just the E-Double at first, and I don't know where that name came from. The other nickname was small. Somebody gave me that for a second. I never really used that, but a couple of times. But I don't know where E-Double came from. And I always use Erick Sermon from the day when I spelled my name in mostly every record that I was rhyming on.
Yep.
And then crossover, when I said, "Who am I?" Paris said, "E.D. the Green Eyed Bandit," so he said that. So I don't know where that came from the Green Eyed Bandit, but that was. I'm glad he said it because now people call me that first before they even call me Erick Sermon. They call me the Green Eyed Bandit first.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. It's not like you can give yourself a nickname, So forgetting all those from other people, that's the way it should be. I mean,
yeah, well, usually I do make up names because I call myself the MC Grand Royal on the microphone. I do a lot of, I was Erick Onasis one time, for the year 1999 when I signed to signed to DreamWorks. So I was trying a couple of things, but again, the Green Eyed Bandit just stuck. That's why this new album is not by Erick Sermon. It says GEB.
Yes.
And that's what name I'm going under this new CD.
Yeah, it's good because it's not like anybody won't know who that is.
You know what? And I said that too. And then those that don't know, then the new ones be like, "Okay, who is that? Who's the Green Eyed Bandit? My awesome." So I'm trying to, it's a way to catch both kids because kids are thinking some type of superhero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the ones who know me be like, "Oh, that's Erick Sermon."
Yeah. So you get them all.
Mm-hmm.
See, he's got to get in touch with
this is my first time trying something like this, and I figured that the reinvention of this, because I feel that this product I made this time is some of my best work. People always say that a lot, and it should be bullshit, but I guess it's just something to say. But me, I really felt that I really put some great material together on this project.
Yeah. And from what I've been reading, you got a bunch of it is done already.
Yeah, I kind of, I had almost kind of finished it in my head. Is the fact that without the Kickstarter, it was coming anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So the Kickstarter was just something that came through last that I forgot that I was even doing. And then all of a sudden the date came up, and I'm like, oh shit, gotta promote a Kickstarter. De La Soul, it's no secret. They got $600,000 from their Kickstarter. Like I was like, wow. So I thought that could happen to me too. But it didn't go that way. So I just give you 100. Yeah. But people showed up and supporters was there. Everybody wanted to see something new. I'm just coming from a place where y'all came from. Y'all made a platform. Noriega made a platform for himself, and I'm trying to make a platform for people who are doing real hip hop music, so we won't lose the whole culture of what it sounds like, and giving them a platform to come out. And I'm here to do that for them.
Yeah. This Kickstarter, which we're definitely gonna get to, but let's take it now. There's a whole lot of stuff going on with this Kickstarter.
Yeah.
You not only are you bringing out a new album, but you've got you got Def Films.
Yeah. Well, everything that you see for the Kickstarter world is kind of new to people in America that's doing music. The reason why De La Soul was so successful is because they had a huge overseas base. And the overseas base, as you can see in the Kickstarter, it can tell you where your pledges came from. And all their pledges came from Europe. That means overseas.
Yep.
In America, I'm the first to introduce it to people. Not when it comes to movies and films, because Spike Lee did it, and all these other actors did it, and now Quincy Jones got one out. Kevin Hart's doing one next month. You have a lot of people that's doing this, but in the music is brand new because they're still trying to figure out what it is and how to pledge, which is crazy. But on this thing is packages, so I'm not getting your money for free. I'm letting you buy things to be a part of the album too. So in the packages, I got it for De La Soul too because I just watched their whole plan.
Mm-hmm.
And the packages are packages that you will want to get. You want to, meet me, sit down with me, make a record with me. You want to rhyme with me. You want to, have a Def Squad jacket, T-shirt, album, vinyl, special vinyl, bonus tracks, the whole nine. You can get a video done by Def Squad Films.
Yeah.
You can get a DJ thing done by my DJ.
There's a Def Rug in there.
Could be done.
You got a Def Rug coming in at the 225 level.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, but there's all kinds of crazy stuff. And what I thought was really cool as far as the rewards go, because I've seen so many Kickstarters that I've been involved in.
I'm
Or
on
I've
interview
been
because
watching.
I come out there and punch you in your neck right now. Me and you guys talk.
Hello.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Hey, Rockwall just walked in.
No way.
Me and Rockwall's partners in here. I told you we got a building. One side is mine and one side is Rockwall's.
Damn. And he's interrupting you.
Yep, he just walked in. I know. Yeah.
No,
It's so crazy to have, again, to be like, okay, well, how we started off, and he's talking about Pink, Christina Aguilera, Destiny's Child, fucking Janet Jackson, Jay-Z, R. Kelly, this motherfucker. Besides hip hop music, he does the other pop shit too.
Damn.
And he says, Eric, if anybody can do it, it's you. So that's why people gave up on this thing called music. They gave up. They like the simplicity of what they hear and the non-creativity, the whole nine. So there's no more labels, no Bad Boys, no the Aftermath. Jimmy Iovine is retiring. The Russell Simmons and them is gone. Leo and them is gone. Everybody's they doing the labels are done. Bad Boy, Murder Inc. Nobody wants it.
Suge's
I don't
in jail.
understand it. So
yeah.
I figured that I was going to be the one to do this because I never did it before. I always had groups that was on other labels, but never under my umbrella as a label.
Mm-hmm.
So music is never going nowhere. So I want to be the one to, and Rockwall was the one that said, Eric, let's form a new Death Squad. So that was the vision, that we going to head across, and then just go forward, and we are not going to fail, and again, like people like you, that's what I'm saying. You think that what you're doing now is something, you wait until you blow up from what we're doing, because the world would know that there's people like you that even cared to even say, you know what, fuck that, I'm going to do a podcast like this. We're going to do 40 and up, and we're going to roll it and let the people know what time it is.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons we started. There was no other show out there talking about our music.
Right.
And it's really great to be able to talk to people like you who understand, what the little people like us are trying to do.
But I don't understand that there's no reason why. Like, I give my kids money to buy their music. Mm-hmm. Now Dad wants to go buy something. There's nothing for me to go buy.
Right.
Because there's nobody making anything because somebody told them that their time was up.
Yeah.
So all your great rappers and singers, they all got dropped from their labels. Why? Because the youth came in? But you still left us out. And we the one with the money. You know what I'm saying? So you left the money on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not target to the people who have the disposable income, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Exactly.
And when you kind of run the label yourself, you get more creative control. You don't have a whole ivory tower full of people in suits that are trying to tell you what kind of music you need to make to appeal. See, a lot of the music that we listen to now we call it ringtone rap because there's no substance to it. It's just one little 10-second hook that they can sell as a ringtone and just have it play over and over and over, and that's how they get their money.
Listen, see, if I had you saying that and send me that on a post, I probably can get another $100,000 because you saying that and then to say, okay, well, this is Russell told me when I was 17 years old. I was in Nassau Coliseum. It was 16,000 people out there. We did 3 shows straight: Run DMC, EPMD, Jay Jeff and Fresh Prince, and Public Enemy. All of a sudden, he tells me, when I walk out there, it's going to be 75% white people, right?
Yep.
I said, so what do you mean? This is a hip hop show,
right?
He says, yeah, but your consumer is them. So 75% of hip hop music is bought by white America. So he wanted me to know this, so when I walk out there, I won't be shocked. Because don't forget, I'm coming from regular shows to a tour. I only did 4 shows before Run DMC called me out on a major tour. EPMD blew up, and Run was like, yeah, go get them, Russell, because they knew that this is the new. So, and so when it comes to the consumer, we know what it is. That's why it's called crossover. And when it's seen that way and it's portrayed that way, it's a different effect for them to understand it than me trying to tell them something like that. Because they look at me like, huh? Why would you think that? Who told you that? It's the truth.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me. It's there.
I go to the airport and I walk through. It can be a white guy in his 40s. He got a baby on his back. His wife. He'd be like, "Baby, they go to Green Eyed Bandit." Now, everybody else is looking at him like, "Who's he talking about?" But this is my audience.
Yeah.
And they grew up with me.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean, we went from, like Jamie said before, we listened to Chuck and to Red on Friday and Saturday nights. We had to drive my car to a special place because upstate you could only pick up the signal in certain areas.
Yeah.
So we would make it a point to drive somewhere to pick up the signal, and this is what we listened to. And now, we go to the Fresh Fest. We go to all these things. If we could get on that ship hop cruise next year to be out there, for that, we do it. But this is our wheelhouse. This is what we grew up on. And when people look at me, I mean, Jamie at one point had, third base shaved in the back of his head and all that stuff.
Wow. So. Yes. One of the dopest. And Search is my boy forever.
Yeah, those were the days, man. It's
me and Paris got invited about 6 years ago to the winery, the big one in San Francisco, in the Valley, and there was a guy named Chris. He was a billionaire, and he had 80 people there, and a few of us knew us, but he didn't care about that. He wanted EPMD because him and his roommate used to come to Manhattan and go to that famous record store. What's that record store in Manhattan? Not Rock and Soul, the other one. The Fat Beats. Mm-hmm. They used to go to Fat Beats and get records. Wu-Tang Clan, EPMD, Redman, whatever, Tribe. They used to come there just to go to Fat Beats and get records to bring back to their school and college when they went to college at either Boston College or Harvard. And they went there, but they was coming back and forth. He became a billionaire, and he had a party. He had 17 chefs out there for 80 people.
God damn.
God.
And he had EPMD perform, and he cried.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
Because that was his college life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They probably bought them records and took them back to school and put them on that college radio station, which was just, I bet you he was the late night guy on the college radio station playing those records for those, white kids that had no idea what any of it was.
I don't even think he was that. They was just fans of hip hop, man.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And they couldn't get it except coming to the NYC.
Yeah. That's it. We had a hard time unless we were listening to Chuck and Red. Until 80, 87, 88, when things really started blowing up, where you could go to the mall and pick stuff up. Aside from that, we'd have to get on a train and go to the city and get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when me and Paris was making our demos, it was 86 we made our first demo, and then Paris had to go back to school because he was playing football for Southern Connecticut, and then he came back that summer of 87. Then 87 we made the demo, and then November It's My Thing came out, and the B-side You're a Customer at the end of 87, and then we dropped the album, and that summer, or June something, we dropped Strictly Business.
Which is still one of the greatest albums of all time. I don't care what anybody says.
Mm-hmm.
Love that album.
But we talked about that on episode 25 when we had everybody. We were naming the top 5 albums. I think Strictly Business got a lot of play on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that was cool because I think Rick Rubin and them and the Billboard won top 100 rap records of all time. We was number 20, and then that was for Strictly Business. That was picked by Rick Rubin and a couple of other whoever was on that panel at the time.
All right, so if we're going back to Strictly Business, that brings me to a question I've wanted to know from the beginning. Who the hell is Jane?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Yeah, Jane was my first rhyme I kind of wrote fully. I had 2 rhymes. I had a Bernard Getz rhyme, and I had Jane I wrote when I was 12.
Damn.
And I had that rhyme since I was 12 years old. And then when I was 16, I said it to P, you know, when I first met him. And then when we was making the album, we made he had found the sample Joe Tex. And I just rhymed on that one. And then I just, gave him parts of the rhyme, but that's a rhyme I wrote when I was 12.
Damn. Okay. So since you wrote that one when you were 12, you've obviously got a sentimental attachment to that. Is that why Jane carried all the way through every album?
Well, Jane was just, you know what? It's the fact that people kept asking about it. So we just said Jane too. Because again, it was popular, even though it wasn't a song.
Mm-hmm.
It was popular on Strictly Business. So we came back with Jane, and we just kept going, and that's where Redman got Superman Lover from to keep going with Superman Lover from the Jane series.
Oh man! See, now that's new information. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Redman was signed to me, so
right.
It all works together.
Well, we love some Redman on the show too.
All right, so from 88, now when we jump to 92, Business Never Personal comes out. 1993, EPMD breaks up temporarily.
Right.
Was the
time? Another 5 years, that's a long time.
Yeah, but it was temporary, and we were all happy when you came back.
Mm-hmm.
Was the title of the album a sign of things to come, or was the breakup already decided before the album was titled?
Yeah, the breakup was already. We just EPMD would have never got back together if Biggie Smalls didn't die.
Mm-hmm.
I think that once Pac died and then Biggie died, it was something that DJ Dice, which is Redman DJ, made a phone call and parachute me up. But I think that we tried to do something for hip hop since it was so gloomy in '97.
Yeah.
That not that we can fulfill that though, but EPMD get back together was kind of amped for some people.
Yeah.
People was excited about that.
No, that was a huge deal. I mean, even if
but the big story was behind that was the death of Biggie Smalls and Tupac.
Yeah, even if you were not a giant EPMD fan, knowing that EPMD got back together gave you faith in hip hop at the time when you really needed it.
Yep, but just to keep it 100, it would have never happened.
Well,
that's the sad part.
So you got to find something good
that
came
had no
out of
means
death.
of coming back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so if we're going to talk about that time period, so you took a trip to Atlanta.
Yep, I went to Atlanta and then I opened myself up. And I think that the breakup was the best thing for me because I would have still been inside of a situation where I wouldn't have been able to do what I did in music. I would have been still EPMD. And I had Redman though, but I still wouldn't have been able to branch out and do what I did as far as just kind of just doing everything there was to do at that time in music, producing all them people, making all them records.
Yeah, because you essentially took what we knew as East Coast hip hop, which was New York, because anything south of Jersey was Southern hip hop as far as we were concerned.
Right.
It was all that MC Shy D and Luke and so you took East Coast hip hop and you went to Atlanta opened a rim shop and brought our hip hop to Atlanta.
Yeah, the Atlanta opened the city up for me. I mean, they really opened it up. Before Stay Real hit the radio, it'd be like Atlanta's own Erick Sermon. Then Stay Real would come on, or Atlanta's own Erick Sermon hit switcher would come on. Atlanta's own Erick Sermon Hostile would come on. Well, whatever that was playing at the time, it would be introduced like Atlanta's own Erick Sermon. Then the record would drop.
Wow.
And then I was the first one to bring the cameras downtown to shoot Stay Real. They didn't have a video shot downtown. I was the first one to bring them downtown.
Yeah, and then a ton of people followed you.
Yeah, then everybody came because they called me from the Source magazine. Short came. Pac had already was experimenting because he was at my rim shop too, and then Scarface called. He came, and it just didn't stop. But everybody came because they saw me in the magazines, and I was talking about Georgia. Everybody, Erick's in Atlanta, and they all came, and they experienced something called the Freaknik, and they wanted, and then Short came and moved, and that was it.
Yeah, are people even allowed to talk about Freaknik anymore? Like, it's like a time period in history that people don't even talk about anymore.
Yeah, I think the last one was 98, 97.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If people weren't around then, they don't even know what it was.
Nah, they don't. Nope. Don't have a clue.
And yeah, it's one of those things. If it happened in Vegas, it stays in Vegas. Yeah, if it happened to Freaknik,
but it was so big for so long.
Yeah.
You know, so big. But then they started regulating it, and they kind of messed it up because you couldn't ride through the city no more. They was directing you through because there was no violence. And the city's making crazy money.
Oh, I have
So why would you stop it? You know, why would you? Because they just started directing the traffic straight to the highway, so you couldn't run through the city no more. So it messed everything up.
Yeah, gotta have it their way.
Yep.
Red tape doesn't hold anything. It just pulls it apart.
Yeah.
And that one year when I got there, I had Jalen Rose, Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Webber. They was all at the shop. I had shut that whole city down that one time.
Unbelievable.
Did I shut it down again?
Adopted by another city. That's something right there.
Yeah, and people still talk about it because I helped out everybody. I put rims on their cars. When Ludacris was at the station, the 97, I put rims on their truck. You know, the clubs, the monies I gave to the Jose Williams next door to feed the homeless. Bill was the mayor. He wanted to give me keys to the city. I ain't take it. I just told him, no, I don't want that.
And you talk about putting rims on people's cars. What's this I hear about you running around town in Pebble's brand new vehicle?
Oh yeah, the L.A. Who was it? No, it was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. No, L.A. Reid had bought. That's who she married to.
Yeah.
L.A. Reid had bought her a brand new Land Cruiser. So he bought the Land Cruiser to the shop to put wood grain all through the car and some rims. But before we did all that, we rode it. We rode the car all around Atlanta.
Had to
and then we put the stuff on it. And then we gave it back to him.
Well, you got to get a feel for the car so you know what you can.
No, we never saw nothing like that. I bought one right afterwards.
Well, there you go.
I've never seen no truck that big before. I'm like, what? That's a Land Cruiser. And her shit was it was a
drive
gold
without
one.
going to the
we
dealership.
We rode that motherfucker.
I bet you did.
I think I saw that vehicle in the TLC story.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think what a lot of people don't realize as well is the depth of production credits that you have, which I mean, I'm sure, EPMD holds a special place in your heart. Are you more proud of the music you made as EPMD or proud of the music that you produced for other people? Because it's a who's who if you look at your production list as to people you've been associated with.
Yeah, I think that the EPMD was more something that we thought we had to do, so it wasn't as, I didn't know to look at it as something special. Me and Paris thought that the records that we heard, that was from these artists, that they made them. So we didn't know we were producers.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody told us we were producers. You know what I'm saying? That's the scary part. We didn't know. We just was doing what you thought you had to do to make a record.
Yeah, we made our record.
Right. So it wasn't special until like later on, and when I knew, okay, I'm a producer, but I still like to work on the other people, like as far as doing the artists that I had working on Redman or doing Keith Murray. Something that was not of mine. It's always more fun.
K Solo.
Mm-hmm.
K Solo was good too. Like doing the Spellbound record was something that again it was it kind of it was thrown on me because it was Paris's artist, and Paris knew how to produce too at the time. So I was wondering why he gave it to me. So I really didn't want to put it together, but I did it anyway. And then they dropped it first, which shocked me because I wouldn't think they would have come with something like that first.
I like that record too.
Yeah, we reviewed that record a long time ago. We review records every week, so.
No, Solo was amazing. Like as far as like you can hear Nas talk about him as far as just on the way his mind was, how he thought. When you hear the songs like Fugitive or Was It Me the Rhyme did it in third person, and you hear that, will the real Solo please stand up, and you hear Eminem,
yeah,
please Eminem stand. You know that influence, from that man is there. From for what the Hit Squad did, we were special. That's why Eminem called Redman his favorite rapper. We was something to look at because we were different and we were constant. We was consistent. Like no matter what, when it came, you knew it was coming and you knew it was going to be something right. And that's what I liked about about doing the other ones except me, because I knew that it was going to be more thought process into what I was doing. Because doing us is like find something you get, find something you kind of like, and we make it happen.
Yeah. Plus, your own strengths and everything. Now, how was it working with Shaq?
Yeah, it's so bugged out because Shaq had came to Long Island first, and I was in a studio called Music Palace, and he had came down to the studio. I was like, wow, Shaq is in the studio. It's crazy. So he's like, yo, I want you to produce my records and write them. I said, okay, cool. So all of a sudden, I fly down to Orlando, and we in the studio, and the studio got a chef. Like, whatever you want to eat, he'll cook it for you. I was like, this is crazy. So the chef is in there. We eat, and we just laugh and whatever. So I was like, I get to work, so I work fast. So I guess he wasn't expecting me to get this stuff done that quick. And maybe I should have stayed longer to like milk it more or whatever. But I don't work that way. I'm used to making records at a certain pace. So I made the songs, and he was like, okay, now you gonna write them? I was like, oh, you want me to write? Okay. So the Outstanding, which was the one that had the platinum single and the platinum album, I just was writing something that I would learn about. Just tell me about something about your life. And when he told me a couple of things, I wrote it down, and after that, I put a record for him. And then the others, Shoot Past Slam, and I forgot the other ones I wrote, but it was 4 of them, and that was it. But
Let Me In, and boom.
Yeah, boom, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which had
I don't remember.
on
It was a while
too.
ago. Yeah.
So you weren't responsible for that Shaq knife cutting you with precision he did on was that Last movie he was on?
Yeah, that's before me. Yeah, but I wasn't mad at that because Shaq killed that rhyme though.
He did.
He killed that rhyme.
Not a Christian Leitner, not a
Yeah,
Alonzo
Shaq was a
Mourning.
lot more. Shaq was a lot more talented than a lot of people want to give him credit for.
No, he was. Come on, Shaq was on the microphone with Biggie Smalls, man. That's a lot. That's,
Yeah.
to be rocking with Biggie.
That's saying something.
A lot of people turn Shaq down. You know, like DJ Premier turned him down. People turned him down, but people didn't realize. I thought Shaq could rhyme. He could rhyme on beat. He could flow, and that's why I think Biggie thought so too. Because it wasn't the fact that he had a whole. Listen, people thought that it was a bunch of money, but it wasn't Shaq paying. It was the label paying. So Jive Records wasn't like pulling the bank out for nobody neither. You know, I can't believe how tight they was on them records. Whew.
Now you said,
and I just did it because I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, this is something, you know, whatever, go down, but it was way below my pay grade. That's all I can say. It's way below my pay grade at the time.
We all go slumming from time to time.
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking that though. I was like, I just knew this. I was going to be like, because it was him.
Yeah.
But it wasn't him. He was signed to Jive, so he had a record deal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now you said Premier passed on working with Shaq. I heard you passed on working with Biggie and Nas.
I worked with Nas. I just didn't understand him at the time, so I didn't take it seriously. But I mean, I had at least 10 rappers come through my fingers in the business that's famous now that I could have had that I didn't. I didn't. I was too young. I was young, and I was also doing my own thing, so I really didn't notice it. You know, I had Game, I had Luda, I had Biggie, I had Rick Ross, I had Jesus. And back in my rim shot was Outkast, Goody Mob, the 112, Jagged Edge, David Banner. You know, I turned down the Fugees. I turned down. There's nothing that was out there at the time that didn't get my phone didn't ring or didn't come through me. 50 Cent after he did How to Rob, the first single sound in Sony I did. It was called my God, what was that? Oh, that niggas not like me. What? Oh man, I forgot that song.
It's understandable. You've had your hands on probably about 5,000 tracks.
Yeah, but 50 came to me, and that was the first single on Sony. It was called Heat Wave, and he got shot right after that.
Man.
But he was in my basement for 2 weeks straight.
That's right. Yes, Heat Wave. The Heat Wave. That one had Noriega on it too.
Yep.
Yep.
There was everybody the Wu-Tang Clan, I had them first too. Just, you know, like these stories that will come out in my documentary, because there haven't been no producer like me, besides me doing that work, but had their hands on getting all them people.
Yeah, I heard in an interview with Wu-Tang before, they said they modeled themselves after the Hit Squad.
Yes, yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's got to be something, you know, when you see where they've gone, to know that they took inspiration from you.
Well, the same thing. I mean, me and Paris Rob Run DMC. So, I mean, people do it.
Yeah.
You know?
You say, hey, look, this
Run
works.
DMC and EPMD is no rocket scientist. We try to take the logo as best as we can, and, you know, Run DMC, EPMD, we just, try to do what we can do, you know?
And it
worked.
worked.
To win.
It worked, yeah.
Well, I said before, now that D's doing comic books, maybe he needs a villain in a comic book called the Green Eyed Bandit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's still I'm telling that. Tell him to ask him. Like,
write you in there. Tell him you got that idea from us.
No, because the whole thing that I'm saying, the fact that with the Green Eyed Bandit, I think that it can give me another conversation too, for just for excitement for the new era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I'm looking for them, but again, I just want to be like, I want to use Erick Sermon on this project. I just want to be the Green Eyed Bandit. And everybody calls me that anyway. I mean, everybody calls me that first. Everybody.
Well, yeah, you heard it in the
They
intro.
always say, Green Eyed Bandit, Erick Sermon.
Yeah.
First they say that. I'm like, yo, this is what they call me. So I'm going to use it.
Yeah, embrace it. Yeah.
So
I'm
now,
gonna
when
use
you
it.
hear
And
some
I think
17-year-old
you're
say,
right.
"Yo, did you hear
It
this?"
is a character. It does feel like a character.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
But this is great marketing too, because now you get a 17-year-old get that new joint, be like, "Do you hear that dope new MC, Green Eyed Bandit?" And we can sit back and chuckle.
Exactly.
And be like, "Yeah, he's dope new MC." who's,
Exactly.
Been dope for about 30 years.
Same thing with Run the Jewels with Killer Mike or CeeLo Green or
Yeah.
People know Pharrell, but probably don't know the Neptunes. But now the Neptunes got a new hit, so now the Neptunes might be famous now for the first time again. For those new people who don't know them from 7 or 10 years ago when they made the last record or whatever. So it's a situation on what you're doing, and how you're doing it. So
Yeah, they're huge down here. They're from my area.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, outside here, the NERD, nah.
Right. But again, the time span between the albums. Listen, man, kids don't. Music come out so much and so fast.
Yeah.
Kids be like, huh? Because I asked my son, 12 years old. I said, I was on the phone with Akon. I said, Dad, who's that? I said, Akon. He said, who's that?
What?
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it has only been 5-6 years since he's been really, really famous.
I mean, he did that track with Gwen
Nah,
Stefani.
I think it's been longer than that. But the fact that he didn't know him still, like,
right,
that kind of bugged me out. And people from 19 still be like, who's Cameron? They
Right.
don't, by social media, so imagine me, you know what I mean? So that is kind of scary to a point where these kids, again, they're someone who's 18 and say, okay, I know you. You're the guy who made music. They know Erick Sermon from 2001. They have no idea about this guy. And, of course, React was one of the biggest dance tracks that every dance company danced to. Right. So from 2002, they know Erick Sermon from React and music from 2001, 2002. So that 25-year-old or whatever, that 30-year-old, they know me.
Yeah.
But from Erick Sermon, the guy who made music or React, not from EPMD. They have a clue about my background.
See, that's why we want to get, and hip hop seems to be the only genre of music that's like that. You can see 18-year-old kids wearing Led Zeppelin t-shirts and still listen to Led Zeppelin and know Led Zeppelin and think
hold up.
of it.
See, listen, I can't believe you're saying this shit, man. You know how I preach this shit, the same shit you just said? Every day I preach how the culture of white America to black America, that label, and how they treat their legends is incredible, because they don't say old school Sting, old school Rolling Stones, old school Madonna, old school Paul McCartney, old school U2. It's just the name.
Yeah.
And they know them. Madonna comes out, Madonna's new album's coming out. It don't be, she's still singing?
Yeah.
Barbra Streisand was 72 years old, came in with a #1 album in the country.
Mm-hmm. Tony Bennett still gets #1 albums.
32,000 copies the first week. Paul McCartney's on stage with Kanye, and my son is like, I like that Paul McCartney, man. I'm like, he's not even singing. He's just playing guitar. But the song they had, he liked it, and he said, yo, that Paul McCartney and Kanye West is dope.
Right.
This is what it is. Like, Bruce Springsteen they won Grammys 2 years ago. They're still doing what they're doing. We're the only ones that look at it differently and don't respect us.
Yeah.
We don't respect us. We don't respect the legends that they might say it and might say, yo, OG, boom, boom. But in actuality, you don't respect us like they respect them. They respect their legends and their icons.
Yeah, they don't refer to their legends as old school. They're either
They
classic
don't.
or icon
The word
or
never
legend.
comes up.
Yeah. That's one of the main things. When we started this show, we made sure it was a classic hip hop podcast. It is not an old school show.
And I'm not trying to say to whatever. I heard Latifah told somebody at the Hip Hop Awards, yeah, I'll come, but take that old school off my name. LL Cool J was like, yeah, me too. Take that old school off my name. I'm LL Cool J.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you, whatever that term came from, you're either going to call me, is it going to be classic hip hop, or it's going to be the iconic, or whatever. But why does it have to be that?
I think Big Daddy Kane said the same thing in an interview too, that he hates that label.
Yeah.
I think it's just I don't know if it demeans it or how it does it, but it just makes it kind of, I don't know. It takes some of the spice off of it to me.
Yeah.
It has a little dismissive feel to it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's old. You
That's the word. I like
stuff.
that word. Dismissive feel. I'm using that. Taking that from you.
Yeah.
Taking that right from you.
It was given. You can't take
have
it.
Okay. All right. I accept that.
Yeah. No, like anytime I put anything out, like if we have somebody on the show, and you'll see when I tweet this out, the episode on Thursday, I put, we have an interview with the legendary, with the iconic, with we don't ever, but this old guy that you used to listen to, that's not how we go about things. That's not how you respect the guys you listen to.
Shot Rock made
I don't
sure
think
we
they
called her the
understand that.
luminary.
That's the problem. So I'm glad you're saying that, because I have to make that clear though too. And it's not like and I hear Nas say it too on stage. Who with that old school shit they hear? Put your hands up. And I think that he embraces it, but he don't have to do it that way. I guess, I'm not, and it's not about being ashamed of it, but I like what you said about what it does. It feels submissive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's almost lazy to a certain extent. It's like
it's dismissive and lazy.
It's almost like guys who can't write anything else and then just keep popping the N-word in and try to rhyme the N-word with the N-word with the N-word, which, by the way, if you ever listen to our show, we made a pact that we never say that word. But I said earlier this year, when that word comes up in either song lyrics or anything, I will use a more controversial N-word, and I always say Nickelback, because I don't know anybody who likes Nickelback at all. So
that's dope. That's dope. I like that a lot.
So that's our show's N-word.
I'm even finding myself too. I was talking to Method Man, and Method Man doesn't curse anymore, and I was like, I'm trying to, as much as I can too, with my curse words and using the N-word though too. I just feel that. And just because I mean, if you're a writer, then you can write it without it. And,
right.
And if you feel like, I'm not trying to bash those that do. I just don't want to do it as much. So I'm trying a lot to get both of them out of it. I want people to hear what I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, we had talked about an article last week where 50 Cent said that he feels that artists need to dumb it down for the current audience to listen to. And I find that just using that kind of stuff over and over dumbs it down way too much. It makes it, and I've always taught my kids.
No, you can't do that. You know what it is? Let me say this. Eminem is the most prolific intellectual rapper that we know of. And not one time does he anything that takes him from his lyrical stance of him not being lyrical. So if he's supposedly the number one rapper in the world and he's not dumbing it down, that means that people understand everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he was going after Jay-Z, wasn't he? Saying that his new album was too advanced, too adult for today's listeners. That was his complaint.
Nah, you created my 10-year-old niece, my 12-year-old son, and millions of other kids knew that album back and forth.
Yeah. I said, how are you going to sit there and knock a guy for telling you how to make money, how to plan for your future, how to be successful, how to be faithful to your wife?
Yeah. It doesn't match.
No.
Yeah.
No. And it's not like he's talking out of school because, Jay-Z write a check and a bank bounce right now. So,
Right. Right.
Yeah. So you mentioned that a lot of people know you from the track Music, that being a huge Marvin Gaye sample on that track. Was that an advertising investment for the rest of the album, or did you still make money off of that track in the end?
Yeah. The wife, the widow Jan, she gave me 35% of that record. I was so shocked because me paying the $200,000, I was able to get $4 million from Clive. So the investment was good, but she gave me 35%. I was not expecting that.
You got $4 million out of Clive?
Yep, I signed to J Records after that.
That's a surprise right there.
Not only that, I got $4 million. Clive gave me 50-50. I was the only artist in his history that ever got 50-50. That means whatever he made, I made 50% of it.
Damn. Yeah, I figured that the money that you put out on that Marvin Gaye sample was pretty much just an investment on the rest of the album. You weren't going to get nothing off of that.
Well, I didn't know about it was going to cost that much. The record was already. It was when I was in L.A. My boy took it to the new radio music seminar, and what happened was he played it, and the program director happened to be there for, what was that whole thing called before it went to iMusic? It was the station was this I forgot the Clear Channel.
Oh, before
so Clear Channel kind of ran everything.
I should have known that. I worked for them. I sold advertising for them.
Yeah, so the record was already playing in there, and it got out like wildfire. So it was too late. They had me.
Yeah, so they could have taken you for 100% off of that.
Yeah, they had me. Period. They had me because they know that I won the record, and what I'm gonna pay for it.
Yeah. Like what's his name did the Tribe.
So it was a plus, but it's also a stick up too. But I was able to get it back, 100 times over.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing.
No, because again, I paid $200,000 to get $4 million from Clive Davis.
Yeah, you didn't know going in though. That was the scary part.
Yeah, you didn't know going. I kind of knew it was going to blow because the head of Clear Channel already gave it the thumbs up that it was going to go on every station across the board.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, you got a good idea then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was number one for I don't know how long.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite Erick Sermon tracks. I just love that song. And a few years ago, Def Squad comes on the BET Awards for a cipher and breaks the whole friggin' internet. What made you decide that it was time to come back and do something like that?
Everybody had said no at one time. Like they asked us, I guess, how many years when the first one started. We turned three of them down.
Mm-hmm.
And then when this one came up, they pressed hard on this one. And when it came up, everybody was like, "Yeah, let's do it." But it was we turned it down 3 times.
Yeah, well, we're all glad you didn't turn it down again.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like that when Rock said, "Yo, y'all niggas almost broke the internet." So what? Because don't forget, we had taped it so long before.
Right.
I think we taped it the first week in August. And then October came, and I was like, "So the awards is on." So, and then matter of fact, I don't even know what I was doing because I didn't even watch it. I saw the after because it come on back to back.
Right.
By the time I came on back to back, the internet was already had it, so I was watching it from the phone.
Man, yeah, no, that one right there is the only reason that I continue to watch the BET Awards, because I don't know really anybody who's on there anymore.
Yeah, no. Again, this year they used You a Customer for EPMD, so that made it kind of cool on the freestyle to hear my beat in the background from all the rappers. So
all of them except Eminem, right?
Yeah, Eminem freestyle in the air, exactly. Right.
I'm sure it was in his head though.
Probably.
But if the Death Squad doesn't do what they did, Eminem probably doesn't do what he did this year. So without that cipher completely blown up, and I think BET tweeted it out before the show was over.
Yeah.
Because I think they recognized they had lightning in a bottle on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so bugged out because even for the new awards, they had us in the commercials. And I'm like, hey, we're not in this year's. That was last year's. But we was in this year's. I mean, well, yeah, this year's commercials. I'm like, hey, that's weird. We're not even on this thing.
You're up for an award for Best BET Award Cipher.
I know. But they had our cipher inside the commercials for the
wow.
2017.
That's a seminal moment in the BET Awards. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't include that in the promo every single year now.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I tell you what, I didn't really understand it at first because Busta Rhymes was there too when we was doing it, so he was on the side. He was like, "Yo, this shit is fucking classic." So I'm like, "Okay, well, to us, we just rhyming, But he didn't move the whole time. He was like, he said, we got to see this again. I got to make another one, and we were just going through our business like, yeah, hey, whatever,
Yeah, that is a moment for classic hip hop heads. That is a moment just to see you, Redman, and Keith Murray back together.
He just mentioned Busta. I have to ask, if you watched the game last night, did you see the commercial with Busta and Missy Elliott for that Doritos?
Yes, hell yeah.
How was that not the best commercial of the entire night? Because I said you got Busta Dinklage and Morgan Misdemeanor Freeman.
The Busta Rhymes one was phenomenal.
Yeah, I was impressed with Peter Dinklage keeping up. Yeah.
That.
I mean, it was incredible. I mean, Morgan Freeman did what he can do, and I'm not mad at that too. But that Busta Rhymes Doritos was phenomenal, phenomenal.
I said it was the best commercial of the entire night.
Yeah.
Yep. You might be right. Yes.
But now I said they got Busta Dinklage and Morgan Misdemeanor Freeman.
Yeah. That shit was dope. That was again.
I can see T-shirts being made of that shit.
Well, when you involve hip hop in something, it's always going to be dope.
Yeah, it's always been like that. There's been a lot of stuff coming up, just off topic, commercials in the past year or so, with a lot of classic hip hop being used in it. That just blew me away. We have. Digital Underground was doing a weird cereal commercial or something. Then you had Das Effects in a Mustang commercial or something like that.
Yeah, Craig Mack, same forward thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Biggest Smalls Oreo cookies. These right now licenses is a big thing, and hip hop is definitely the culture. It's the climate, and that's why I'm also coming back. Right now, the climate is what it is, and it is making a comeback, and it is. You're gonna have to get involved with something like this and do something, because the other stuff they're not really saying it per se, but it never was getting bought by people. So that right there is a fact. The only true hip hop that was being bought was Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, as far as sales.
Right.
Drake don't count. He's something else. But
yeah.
As far as true hip hop, the only ones that's why they don't make albums, because the albums won't sell.
Mm-hmm.
So but at the end of the day, they noticing that this culture is what's real, and mainstream is hip hop, and it is the real music, and it feels better, it sounds better, and that's why they use it.
Yeah, was it a couple of summers ago when they Coke started those lyrics on the bottle? And you guys
yes, the Coke Soda and the Sprite, all that stuff, and Rakim, and I mean, it was something that you had to recognize, and I'm glad that again, it's dope, just all the the Netflix doing the Get Up and VH1 doing
the breaks,
the breaks and all. I mean, everything is showing this way. So what y'all doing for the 4 years, all of it's going to pay off because it's coming right back this way. So it'll be 50-50 again. It won't be this big margin where it's 80-20 right now.
Yeah, I tell you, we do this, as we told you, because we love it, and just the fact that we get to sit and talk to you, and we've talked to Red Alert and DMC and Chuck D, that is enough for us. If 12 people listen to the show, but we get to talk to you, that makes it worth it for us.
I appreciate that, though, man.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah,
I got the same feeling too, because again, at least if it was one person we touched, and we got one person across, and then they can tell that next person, yo, check this out.
Yeah,
it's this show, and boom, boom, boom. That's what it takes. Everything has to start from somewhere, and when it starts, every show starts from somewhere. Every song starts from somewhere. Every video director, movie director, everything starts from a small place, and then it grows.
Mm-hmm. So tell people what we can expect as far as when Go is going to be released. Do we have a time frame on this?
I think I think April. I could really say April because I'm kind of, I'm kind of finished, and I want to come as soon as possible, because I got so much stuff coming behind it. So I'm trying to come with this as April. As soon as I'm quick, fast, in a hurry.
Don't worry.
I'm not going to say Flavor Vision ain't blurry because Flavor got his ass whooped in Vegas. I don't know what his vision's like right now.
I got a question. I've been following IMDb for forever now because a few years ago I heard you talking about a hip-hop documentary called 88 Fresh.
Yes.
Is there any update on that?
I never knew how long it takes
for it to come out.
Shoot a doc film. I didn't this shit is so much stuff to go behind shooting something like that. I mean, when you want to do something like that, because after watching Defiance and seeing things like that, the whole nine, it gives you other ideas, and then certain people, the dates are not there, and then this person, can't do it this date, and you can't get this shot, this crew. I mean, it's a lot, man.
Yeah, because I think it was 2015 when I first heard about it, and man, I've been following.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a situation where you watch like The Show or Rhyme or Reason or those documentaries that came out that doesn't teach you about, or the art of rap, or don't give you the full situation as far as what this means. But 1988 was one of the toughest years in hip hop, and for it to produce all those albums and all them people, it has to be shown, because it'll show you that this 1 year, that's why everybody talks about it in their rhymes for a reason. Everybody got different reasons. People got, Jay says about drugs. Nas says bring it back to 88 because the time must have been dope for him, or people bring it back in rhymes and say 88 for some other reason. But I'm talking about what happened, and then all the trends you see that's happening now. That year produced it.
Yeah, no respect in 87.
Greatest year in hip hop.
Yeah, no respect in 87. 88 and yeah, but yeah,
nicely done.
But I've been watching, man. I don't go to IMDb for jack, but I go to look for that and say, is there a date on that yet? Is there a date on that yet?
No, I'm gonna let you know about that. You're not gonna have to worry about that. About that piece of when that's coming out. I have a date for that for you on that. I promise you.
All right, you get it to us, we'll get it to the people.
That's right, and we'll promote the hell out of it because
yeah,
I know you will.
Like I said, I've been waiting 3 years for this one.
We've been waiting longer for that than we were waiting for Dre's album.
I put a story that nobody has seen before, and and again to actually be there and be there at the time period that I'm talking about, then I can talk about it because I was there.
Right. Yeah. You're not trying to tell the story from 1973. From somebody who was coming around in 1986.
Some other people who write documentaries that don't have a clue.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that out there.
No, because they just writing about what they were told by somebody, and then it's like that old shampoo commercial. They were told by two friends who were told by two friends, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
We kind of got that same feel.
Or do research or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sha Rock said the same thing to us when she was writing her book, because we said, now it's being told by somebody who lived the thing as opposed to somebody who was told what happened and put their own creative license into it. And
that's the biggest thing. If you tell the story from where you were, not try to tell the story from before you, then you can't go wrong. You tell what you know from when you were there.
Right.
Yeah, but everybody wants to tell the story from the beginning, like they were hanging out with her.
Not everybody was at that block party. I wasn't there. I would have been.
I wasn't there neither.
I would have been like 6.
That's true.
But you were there, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was there.
God. Every week,
crazy.
Every week on the show, before we finish up, we give a shout out to a little side project of yours, friend of yours, Fox. Have a little company called Def Rugs.
Right.
How is it that Erick Sermon, the Green Eyed Bandit, musician, producer, gets involved in a rug company?
I just, again, Fox had made something for me for doing him a favor. And when I saw it, I knew it was something that it could be something. So automatically formed this company right on the spot. So I was able to fund it, and me and him became partners. And then I just put the legwork in to make sure that we try to do every star possible.
Yes.
So it took 6 years, and now we finally launch it now. So we will reap the benefits after 6 years of promotion.
Yeah, I see the website.
I think by the summer, I think that all of us will be multi-millionaires from Def Rug, because I think that, again, you got to say, I'm just going to give you a number. If we sell 8,000 rugs at $100, it's $800,000. Okay.
Yeah.
If we sell 8,000 rugs at $200, it's $1.6 million.
Yeah.
I can sell that in the back of my house.
Yeah.
This right here has never been. We never launched. It's never been to the public yet. This is the first time that it will be to the public, and everybody asks us every hour on the hour on the hour, where can I get it from?
Yeah. Yeah. I have underneath my feet right now, where I'm sitting at my station, I have an EPMD Def Rug, and on the back side of it is a signature and a black marker. It says Erick Sermon.
Yeah. So I signed yours. See?
Yep.
I ain't signed that many. That's dope.
Yep. That
That's
is
dope.
here.
That's dope.
So, we tell everybody, see, we do not talk about products. We do not talk about companies unless we believe them, we support them.
Yeah. We're gonna right after this Kickstarter, we're going right to Def Rug's launch, because again the website is up, but we don't. Again, we didn't launch it yet. So, but the world soon will be able to have their rugs now. It'll be now they'll be able to experience what Khaled and Snoop and Dre and
everybody.
I mean, you already know everybody. They got the rug,
Cuban, just. Yo-Yo was modeling one, and people were like, "Who's Yo-Yo?" I was, please, you gotta, don't sleep.
She was calling stress on that rug. I just told Fox, I'm like, yo, whoever your friends, they're not your friends, get rid of them, because because I don't know where you're gonna be. Like Scarface, when he told you, what are you gonna be able to do with all the cash? I hope I have that. I hope they have that problem sometime.
Yes.
Or you will have that problem.
Well, you know what they say, money is relative. The more money you have, the more relatives come out of the woodwork.
I know. That's why I told them.
Yeah, kick them out now.
Again, get rid of everybody because
Yeah.
my campaign that I'm going on with my publicist and everything is going to be very huge because I'm trying to, with this, see, one thing about this side, I want to get into a whole big thing for music. This side is another whole platform of host of shows to go on that's bigger because you're dealing with carpet or you're dealing with some type of thing like that. So you can get on all these other shows that, that strictly are just crossover, everything crossover. So
Absolutely.
it makes it a big situation to where, like, because
we're gonna see him on the house flipping shows, putting these deaf rugs in these houses that are getting flipped.
you know what? My thing was the fact that I hope his show get picked up, but if not, then I'm like, that we get a plan B, and we do it like Pimp My Ride, and then we be like, guess where we going today? We going to such and such house to do such and such house. You know what I mean? So that's what I plan on doing too, is making it into a show once this gets successful.
That's what I'm talking about. Big things planned for Deaf Rugs.
Right.
And if we give a Mr. Throwback Thursday logo, maybe we can get a Mr. Throwback Thursday rug made.
All of y'all, all your shit gonna be funded. Don't worry about it. Everything whatever y'all need to do, y'all gonna have a new studio in Manhattan, looking at the view, boom, all type of shit.
Well, it's better than recording in my dining room because my wife has the flu in my bedroom right now.
Champagne, McDonald's, Burger
Big
King,
Mac
White
and Bubbly.
Castle.
I love it. Hey, that's an album name right there. Big Macs and Bubbly.
Big Macs and Bubbly. Oh my God, that's incredible.
Talking about
See, that one's free too. You can have that one too.
I'm taking it.
Take all the
Hear
free.
the pen now. He's writing it down.
Yeah, if it's free, it's for me. That's what I'm talking about. All right. But yeah, I old Ruggy Fresh out there. You see him everywhere. And the two of you, it's kind of cool seeing the two of you playing off of each other. Like when I saw you on what was it, on Nori's show? When Fox came in with the rugs for him and Effin.
Yes. Fox is always.
Fox is everywhere, man.
Fox is a beast, and again, I mean, that's why I'm so glad that he's when it does happen for him, that the work that he put in, I'm saying that he gets back to, I mean, because he still does his things, with his vacations here and there. He thinks, I see him moving, but I really want him to, just to enjoy the situation and be like, he's having a good time, and that it wasn't, the 6 years just wasn't for nothing.
Right. Yeah, didn't put out all that work and just give stuff away.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
lose out. Right.
Right. Because again, people just looked at it as being something cute that you made. Oh, that's cute. You made me a rug.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Not knowing that is like, because fans make stuff all the time. They make, they make you a statue or make you a picture or draw your painting or do you a shirt or a pair of sneakers. So to them, we had to make it look like a company for a long time, because it's not. It just looked like you made something as a fan.
Right. No matter how cool it is, it's still something that you made. Right. Yeah.
Because everything was mostly free.
Mm-hmm.
And we know how much work he puts into every single rug. He does them by hand, so.
Yeah, the ones by hand, but a lot of them are some of the hard ones are printed. But that's just the stuff that we have to
We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Our technical difficulty bug struck us for a little bit. We lost the phone call for a second, but now we're
crowd
back.
don't
and
know that. Why are you
applause-
telling the people
I know,
don't
right?
know what happened?
Now he's gonna make me edit that out.
No, because they have to understand the applause. The applause
You know
was
what?
for
You know what?
welcoming
You
back.
keep it at 100. You right? You know what? Shit fucked up when y'all was away, but we back now.
Anybody who's listened to this show knows that our technical difficulties
I know.
are
You're right.
mammoth.
You said that before.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if shit can break down, it breaks down on us.
Yeah.
But knock on wood,
Exactly.
we got pretty far tonight before it
Yeah.
happened. So
Yeah. It won't happen
did.
on a regular. It won't happen on a regular episode. Only on important ones when we're doing interviews.
right.
No, but what I appreciate, but I just want people to know that this Kickstarter is not something that, because people that think it's a GoFundMe, not a GoFundMe. Kickstarter is something that involves the people, and it's for the people too, along with me making an album. Plus, I get to put 7 new people on one record that probably would have never got that type of look. I'm doing that for them.
And you're giving out tickets to hang with you at an album release party. As I said, you're giving away tickets to hang out with you at the album release party.
No, but it's more than that. That's just what they're paying for as far as packages.
Right.
The other part is to
It's
want
helping
them
the
to
people.
know that, like the people who already hit me, because I have a thing out there where if you can send me your best 16 singing
Yes.
or rapping, and I'm picking them. That's something that nobody ever does. And then you will make this album, so you will have a platform. Also, I'm giving you that. I put that option in just a couple of days ago that I know nobody would never do, but I will put 7 new rappers on the CD on one song, and just let them know that from this Kickstarter so far, I signed 2 people to the Death Squad already.
Damn.
So the fact that people can talk a good game, I'm not the one to talk it. I really do it. And I'm hoping that I get so big and I get divisions that I'm able to have divisions in between it so I can be inside of Aftermath, Shady, G-Unit, which is 3 inside of
You'll be a
1.
Wu-Tang
But
affiliate.
also being able to do the new rap, R&B, and hip-hop music. So I'm here for that. I don't want to not be able to do that. I'm capable of doing that. I have a team for that, and nobody else is doing that but me. And so I think that for them to know that what they're doing, especially if they, which is crazy, because if I had more of you, I would have been reached my goal. I don't know how to reach my age group or people know that I'm even doing this because they will support me. So I'm dealing with Instagram, which is new and younger people from 35 to 45, which again they don't understand what this is because I don't have a Facebook. That's what I need because that's my audience.
Right.
And so I'm opening up that one today, and then I'm gonna start doing radio tomorrow. So and then hopefully things will change. But no matter what, it's gonna happen anyway. So.
Yeah.
But I hope people understand in the future, and nobody better not even try to tap me on the shoulder, because one thing about Kickstarter, it shows every name that was involved.
That's right.
And I'm gonna write down and think every name that supported me. Everybody would know.
Yeah, you can't say you were there because I got it showing right here. Your name ain't on the
Exactly.
list.
And you can't say you didn't know because everybody knows.
Yeah.
Because Redman got 1 million followers and he posted it. So, and Twitter, all the rest of the people from Twitter too, with their millions of followers, they posted it. So you can't tell me you didn't know. That's a lie.
Yeah, no, it's everywhere. And if you go anywhere near Kim's page,
Rolling Stone magazine, the biggest magazine in the world, gave me a feature
Damn.
on Kickstarter.
Look out.
Just everywhere.
Yeah, I see. And any social media you go to for your sister, that's the first thing you're gonna see.
Right. And so I feel that, if you really want this, people talk a good game, boys. You know how it is.
Oh,
people
yeah.
Talk, and it's fine. Because, again, I understand it. But just don't come to me for the handout. You know what I mean? I support people that support me.
And that's the way it should be.
Yep,
If you're
it
not
should
down
be.
with me now, don't try to be down with me later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So once again, everybody, Erick Sermon, the Green Eyed Bandit, nice enough to join us. Thank you so much for joining us. We wish you all the success with the new project, with the 150 new projects that you got going.
I know.
And
one more project. The Dynamic Duo album. I don't know if y'all, again, I told to bring it up about another podcast with Noriega with Drink Champs. It went like wildfire. The Dynamic Duo album is all the dynamic duos in hip hop that was able to make a real stamp in rap. I'm doing an album produced by me of Black Star, Little Brother, De La Soul, CNN, Smith & Wesson, De La Soul, Louis by Nature, Dog Pound.
What's that meme they always say? Take my money. I'm doing that throwing the money thing right now. Take my money.
When I tell you the beats already, Salt and Pepper, Run DMC, UGK, 8 Ball MJG.
Artist of the month this month, 8 Ball and MJG. That's our artist of the month for February this year.
Redman and Method Man. Showbiz and AG.
Show and AG getting back together. That's nice.
Das Effects. Lords of Underground.
Damn.
It's so much of the list, but it's 20 groups, and it's a A and B side, only one CD, but it's dynamic duels. It's going to be the dopest project ever. Promise you.
I can't wait for that.
Hell yeah.
I'm already working on that. When I tell you the beats is phenomenal.
We're going to put the link up on the Twitter page, on the Facebook page, and on MrThrowbackThursday.com. We'll put a direct link up to the Kickstarter campaign. Everybody in the TBT posse, we need you to open your wallets and help this project make it to fruition, because I'm telling you right now,
the lowest thing, it's so crazy. The lowest thing is $2.
It's $2, yeah.
You can spend $2 on a piece of pie or a dollar at McDonald's.
What Sal said? Extra cheese is $2, right?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Come on, people, wake it up.
You don't need no extra mozzarella on that motherfucker. You save that $2 and throw it towards this Kickstarter campaign.
Yes. Right.
So thank you one more time to the Green Eyed Bandit, Erick Sermon, for joining us on episode 210.
All right, thanks a lot.
God bless. Good night.
All right, take care.
All right.